anyways, I grabbed everything I need. So for those who do not know, there's a lot of behind the scenes work that I do to run the channel by trying to source new gear, games, obviously, very obscure games sometimes, like Deadpool, the Simpsons game from 2007, Child of Eden, which I do have. I do have all three of those games, which I just mentioned. But there's also been some issues recently, to the point where I had to unfortunately rebuild everything, because I, for Christmas, got a brand new 1 terabyte SSD. I was originally running a 500 gig variant of the same drive, just an older model of it. It was an 850. It was a 800. Give me one moment. Yeah, it was an 850 SSD. So here's the one for the new drive. This is the 860 Evo 1 terabyte. Mine was the 850, I think it was, or something like that. And unfortunately, my new drive, this drive right here, it's actually in the computer right now, it didn't want to take the duplicate copy that we were trying to make from the original drive to the new SSD. So, it can just go in that box for now. So, pretty much, yesterday, last night at about 5:30 at night, I ended up having to completely reinstall this. This is the actual operating system for the computer. I have two different versions of this. I have this one right here that I'm holding is the one for my desktop. I do have one for my laptop. So with that, obviously, I was able to, basically what I'm doing now is going through my old drive. It's in an enclosure right now. Okay, I'm just going to take everything. So basically, what I'm doing right now is what I'm doing right now is, so after I installed the operating system, I installed this. This was my motherboard drivers. And then from there, I started doing my Office licenses, like Word, PowerPoint, all that stuff. So that included like all the Office stuff, the game capture program, all my drivers for motherboard, mouse, Steam, FL Studios, which is the music creation program that I'm trying to teach myself, Uplay, Epic Games, Discord, GeForce, obviously for my graphics card, iTunes, Discord, that sort of stuff. And there's still probably tons of other programs that I still need to install. Like, this whole pile here is stuff I still have to install. Like, I have to install my Lightroom. I have to install my Adobe CS6. I have to install pretty much everything else from here. So, there's still a lot of work left for me to do. I'm just going to put this stuff back. I'll be back in a second. there's still a lot of work for me to do to get this system fully up and running. Like, it's going to take some time, but I started doing a lot of it last night and obviously this morning, but there is a ton of stuff for me left to do. Like, I had to reinstall iTunes, which is fine. Relink all the material that I have for iTunes, which is like 90 plus gigs. I had to get all the capture stuff running. I did a quick test last night with the Xbox One to make sure that I can capture off of that. I had to set up the HDMI switcher from this other switcher I have to switch between the Xbox One and 360. I had to make sure that would work. I did test today to make sure that I can capture off the 360, which I can. I haven't actually tested the PS3. It's just been a complete nightmare. And I should have just started with this on Thursday. Like, I've been trying to get this working since Thursday. Well, basically, Friday I didn't do any work on it because I just didn't. So basically, I've been rebuilding the entire drive, getting all my licenses, getting everything installed, downloaded, updated since yesterday afternoon, basically. And it's been a huge pain in the ass. That's why, luckily enough, I'm running my old drive right now. It's actually up on my other screen right now. Just taking pretty much everything that I might need there. Like, if there's a big folder of stuff that, like, for example, I'm just trying to install my editing program right now. Oh god. Oh shoot. Oh shit. Well, pretty much everything, like all my documents, like I've right now on one of my other drives, like internal drives, I have enough space for I think a couple, like 600 gigs, and then within that I made on that drive I made a folder called old SSD, and that just has everything, all my documents I had on the drive, everything that was sitting on my desktop pretty much I took. I've done all my OneDrive stuff, so then I have all that backed up. Like, pretty much everything that was on that drive, at least in terms of user data, I've taken. I'm still going through that drive, seeing what I need. If I need it, I'll transfer it over to the new drive, or to the folder. So it's just been a huge nightmare of trying to get everything to work. Like, Friday's stream, for example, I ended up actually cutting my lip somehow. That's why I'm trying to pick at it to remove it. So basically, Friday's stream, I ran a dedicated cable off the monitor directly to the Xbox One because I knew I can capture off that without the capture card. And then basically, for editing, I typically do everything at my desktop. I film at I record at my desktop pretty much, depending on what I'm doing. No, I'm pretty much always at my desk. But if I'm editing, again, I'll probably, if I have time, obviously, I'll edit at my desktop. But if I know I'm going somewhere, if I can, I'll download it before I leave. or if I really have to go quickly, I will grab my laptop, which is what I literally used on Friday, Friday, and literally I would edit off of this computer. And that's what I did for Friday's stream. I need... Oh my god. So that's basically what happened for yesterday. Like, I typically don't like to edit off my laptop just because it doesn't have the performance of obviously what my desktop has. But literally, I could not even get my computer to run yesterday. Like, until probably like 6:30, pretty much, because I tried to repair the drive because apparently there were some issues with the drive. So tried to repair the drive with a key and all that stuff. That didn't work. It failed. So I thought, okay, if we tried a couple of different ways, that didn't work. So that's why I'm now, unfortunately, manually doing all of the installs. But there's actually a good side of that. Let me just put my laptop down. The good side of it is that I have a fresh install of everything, pretty much. I have a brand new install of Windows. I have pretty much a brand new install of pretty much everything. Unless I have an old copy of something, like an old update of, let's say, my graphics drivers. I ran the old graphics drivers just so then everything just will work properly. Like, I'm not using generic drivers, I'm using the proper drivers and all that stuff. So I did that, and then I updated immediately to the newer driver for graphics. So yeah, so it's kind of good and kind of bad, I guess, because it's good because I have brand new installs of everything, but on the same side of that, it is also a bit of a pain. Here it is. It is also a bit of a pain where it's just like, it is also a bit of a pain trying to get everything that I might need, like program files and all that stuff. So it's been a very, very tedious. To get it all working and everything. But at least right now I do have a version working. But it's just a bit of a pain where it's just like, I need to basically get pretty much I need this whole computer not fully operational, but I pretty much need everything that's on that drive over onto my new drive. So what I've done for right now is I've made, what is this drive, a 2 terabyte drive? Yeah, it's 2 terabytes. So on my 2 terabyte drive, I made a folder called old SSD because I upgraded. So I'm going through that drive right now. I'm literally looking at it right now and just sort of seeing, okay, what do I need? Ooh, that's actually not bad, actually. I do need that, actually. Command center. That's all the logs. And just basically just transferring everything over from the old drive to the new drive. And it is a little bit of a pain depending on what I need. So pretty much for right now, I've just taken pretty much everything that I might need and just transferred it over. And then eventually what I'm going to do is I'm going to wipe the drive, not the new drive, the old SSD, and use that as an external drive. I'll show you a couple other external drives I have. There's just one other drive I want to grab. So, there you go. So this drive right here in my left hand, this was my original drive that I used when I initially built the system back in 2016, 2017. So basically from there I went to the 500 gig SSD due to a motherboard failure. So we basically took everything that was on this drive, put it to that SSD. So right now you can just see it's a bare drive, bare PCB, which is the circuit board, the green. That's why I'm holding it by the edges, because I still actually want to use this drive. The problem is, it's not in a case like this guy. This is a Seagate 2 terabyte, whereas this is a Western Digital Blue 1 terabyte. So both of these drives are mechanical, so spinning. So this is for probably either for the Xbox One or the 360, depending on what I need. This is going to be for either laptop, desktop, basically as a transfer drive between systems. But the problem is right now I don't have a case for it. So I am going to probably, let me think, Thursday. Probably Thursday I'll look for a new case for this. So then I can actually use it. So let me just put this away. So yeah, so this, like I said, is going to probably be for the Xbox One, I think. Maybe the 360, because I don't know actually. I actually don't know. So yeah, so it is nice to have multiple drives for multiple systems. Like for example, the Xbox One has a 2 terabyte drive attached to it. Just because when I originally had my original Xbox, it was only 500 gigs, so I was like, yeah, why not go out and use originally that drive was this drive. This had originally was formatted for the Xbox One, but when I was looking at getting a laptop like my Razer 15 over there, I was sent temporarily a small MacBook Air, which was I think I only had like 64 gigs of space for myself, so that was a little small. So basically what I did was ran out to, I think it was EB Games out in Kingston, bought my current 2 terabyte that's hooked up to the one right now, transferred everything that was on this drive to that, and then used this on the Mac just for external storage and running other programs pretty much. This drive actually has nothing on it right now, actually. So pretty much, I'm hoping to stream tomorrow, but unfortunately tomorrow, there is, I do have a meeting first thing in the morning at 9:30 a.m. So I'm hoping it's only half an hour. I'm hoping, so I'm done by 10. I'm home by 10:30, quarter to 11. Have a quick bite of food, start streaming. Because I can do that now. I can start streaming again properly because I have all my gear hooked up. Fingers crossed on that. But I think I've ran enough tests to know that I do have everything running that I might need. Yeah, like it's not been fun last couple days. Like yesterday was not fun. So it was not fun, but at least I have a fresh install of most things. Like, so the nice thing is I did have some backup of stuff, but not a lot. Not a lot of stuff was backed up. Like I had to reinstall Chrome, Steam, iTunes, Discord, Epic Games, Uplay, FL Studios, DaVinci Resolve, which I just did now, my command center, which runs pretty much all the temperature, temperature settings on the computer, so motherboard temperature, CPU temperature, all that stuff I had to do. It's not been easy. It's, like I said, it's not been easy, but hey, that's the issues that you face with potentially making a duplicate copy of a hard drive. But it is what it is. So, give me a sec. So, unfortunately, that's just what it is. Like it's issues like that where you're like, I don't want to do this, but I do have to do it. So it's just like it's a bit of a pain in the butt. It is a bit of a pain, unfortunately, but hey, it is what it is. But at least, like I said, at least I had some some version of pretty much every program I need. And then I could, if I need to, I could update it like I did with my graphics card and stuff like that. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Like I said, it is nice to have backups of everything. So yeah, so it is a bit of a pain. It is a bit of a pain, but it is a bit of a pain, but it is what it is. So it is a bit of a pain, like I said, but hey, at least I have stuff that I can get done quickly. So yeah, so it's a bit of a pain, but yeah, so I am actually right now, ooh, that's actually not bad actually. Yeah, it's free trial. So what I'm doing right now is I'm actually controlling the Xbox right now off my desktop, because obviously I have the what's it actually called? It's the console companion, I guess, which allows me to run the the Xbox kind of remotely, but to make sure that everything's working and everything. The other nice thing is I also have the capture program, which is what I'm actually using. So right now I'm I'm installing Wolfenstein: The New Order through Game Pass, and then I also have the free trial for Wolfenstein Youngblood, which I think that is on sale right now. I think. Let me just actually. Ooh. Yeah, so that's sort of what I'm doing right now. Plus, plus also looking at the drive, the old SSD and stuff like that. Huh, that's actually not a bad price, actually. $40. $45 for the base version. Or the upgrade for $13 for the deluxe. I don't think there is a real difference between them, I don't think. I think the only difference... Yeah. The only difference is that you do get a code for somebody else to play Youngblood with you, or... Oh, okay, so it's a game together, so they basically play with you. I'm looking at it, that's why I'm downloading the free trial, so yeah, I think I pretty much have everything off of the drive that I need. I think I do, actually. I think I have everything I really desperately need, but so yeah, I pretty much just grabbed everything that was everything that was pretty much on my desktop. Pretty much everything that was in my OneDrive I grabbed, all the photos. I just grabbed entire folders in some cases, like documents I grabbed the full thing from, OneDrive I grabbed the full thing, pictures I grabbed the full thing, documents I did the full thing. Downloads, I selected a few that I actually needed, like my DaVinci and school stuff. Desktop, I again picked and chose what I really needed. I grabbed the Command Center folder, so then obviously I have all that on the computer. So I think I'm pretty good on what I need off this drive, and the entire folder itself is not actually that big. I think it's going to probably be about 13... Yeah, it's a bit over 13 gigs, which is not bad considering my entire user was probably like 30 gigs, I think. I don't even know. That's what I'm checking right now. So yeah, so basically I can continue streaming whenever. Basically, I can stream whenever. Yeah, it's almost 100 gigs. My entire user was about 100 gig. Well, about 91 gigs roughly. But it is a huge pain in the ass. It's a huge pain in the ass. It's so funny though, because I'm looking at when I created this user. It was August 2nd of last year at 5:16 p.m. And then the old SSD file that I made today was created at 1 42 basically. So like over an hour ago. I've been working on this for about an hour, pretty much just grabbing what I need and don't need and stuff like that. But I think I'm pretty good with everything. I'm still going to keep the entire drive not active. Like I'm not going to keep this drive active. I'm actually going to right now. Oh, God damn it! I'm actually going to eject it. So then I can, because I don't right now really need it. So that bare 1 terabyte drive I had was originally in this enclosure. Now the SSD's in here. So yeah, it's fun getting everything working and everything, but it's also a bit of a pain. But the good thing is I do have audio drivers now, at least even though I am using generic drivers. I do have drivers nonetheless for them now, because originally, within the last probably month and a half, I guess, like early this year, I could not even really listen to videos. I could listen to music and stuff like that, but not videos. So pretty much my last almost 12 hours. I haven't been doing this straight for 12 hours. But I've done a lot of stuff within the last couple of hours. Like I've done complete install of Windows, complete install of pretty much everything I needed, plus big updates, like Windows updates. Like I right now have I just did the anniversary update from I think a year and a half, like 3 years ago or something. So yeah, like I have all those done now. So it's all that stuff, which is what I'm doing. So it's not been easy, but at least now I have a fresh install where there's nothing going to be wrong potentially with the drive and everything like that. Like for some reason there was an issue with the drive, but it showed up, it worked, I grabbed the stuff off I needed. But yeah, so I'm pretty much now like 96% fully operational. And even within the old SSD file, there's stuff in there that I may or may not use. I may delete. I may put somewhere else on the drives. But for right now, pretty much, I wanted to have a local designated dump spot, I guess, where I would take everything that I needed off the SSD and just throw pretty much to that drive in that file. Like it could be like anything I needed, like documents, photos, desktop stuff. Like for example, I have a song that I've started working on which I only have 1 copy of. So it's not been fun, but I am getting myself back up and running. I am right now looking at the Xbox One right now. And now also looking at the 360. How did I do that? I have a switcher actually behind my Xbox One that's a 2 input to 1 output. So it pretty much allows me to switch between the two capture systems, which is the Xbox One or the 360. Sometimes you'll see a stream title that says something like whatever game I'm playing, but if it's a 360 game, in brackets it will say 360 / potentially Xbox One if it's a backwards compatibility title. Stuff like that. So I can switch between the two capture systems. I do still have the PS3, but that system is running a dedicated HDMI cable. So from the back of the PS3, there's an HDMI cable that runs directly to the Switch. There's a couple different switches, one for the Xbox One and the 360. So that's the 2-to-1 output. So that's a 2 input to a 1 output. It goes back into the Switch pretty much, or the capture card, I can't remember. And then the PS3 runs a dedicated line to the Switch, and then my PC is running a dedicated line as well. So right now I'm looking at my desktop pretty much, plus my Xbox One right now. How am I looking at it? How do I know I'm looking at my one? Because there's that, and behind me there's the capture machine. So pretty much this is what I look at every day. And yes, that light is typically on, just so then I have more light. There is what is that, like 3-4 lights above my head, which I can turn on, but pretty much I just rely on 3 windows, which are right there pretty much, and then the window behind me, which is right where that fan is. There's a window there, or I guess a door, which lets light in. So that's pretty much the entire setup. Yeah, I know I have to do some cable management down below, but pretty much this is what I look at constantly, and not to have this running for the last couple of days has just been hell. Like, I've not been really happy. Yes, I did do a couple videos. I did actually put up 2 videos on Friday. I put up the Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon video in the morning on Thursday. Was it Thursday? Or was it Friday? It was probably Thursday. Yeah, it was Thursday. And then, when did I actually put that video up, actually? I'm now actually curious. I think it was Thursday. January 10th. Oh, that was Friday. Okay. And then my Doom / Forza Horizons one was also that same day. Okay. Yeah, okay, so 2 videos on the Thursday. And then, yeah, I didn't do any videos on Friday. I took a day off, not because I wanted to. It was just the fact that, what did I do on Friday? Right, so Friday was a little different day. Like, I had to go downtown, pick up a game, and there's a couple other things going on that day that I still played a game. I still played games on Friday, but yeah, so not to have the system fully up and running on Thursday to, I guess, well, now, has kind of been tough. Like, yeah, I was still able to stream and still edit off the laptop, but that's sometimes the issue with computers. But I'm now back running as normal. There's still some other things I have to get set up, like making sure it's almost a pretty much identical setup to the laptop, like in terms of what color's the taskbar and all that sort of stuff. But I still want to stream pretty much constantly. Like, I am looking at picking up Wolfenstein, the New Order, like Wolfenstein games for the 360, so that I can play those rather than having to rely on Game Pass and stuff like that. Like, I might actually buy, maybe tomorrow, I might actually buy Wolfenstein Youngblood, depending on if I enjoy that from today's maybe a little bit demo, I guess, that I'm going to be doing. But yeah, so it's sort of the same sort of content that I'm going to be doing. Maybe some Wolfenstein, but there's definitely going to be newer games added to the stream. But I'm not really sure. But like I said, my main priority is getting this set up as pretty much identical to the laptop and as what I had before my issue. Like, I have already no accounts set up on the capture card. Like, I have no Mixer, no Twitch, no nothing, pretty much. Like, this is a brand new install of the capture program last night, because I didn't know if I could capture. I didn't know any of that stuff, so I ran some tests a little bit last night, but just to see if I can even still capture and stuff like that, which I can. But there's just been major issues. Trying to get all the software installed, getting all the accounts set up, like Discord, all my game stuff. Like, none of my games are actually installed. Like, nothing. I have all the accounts for them set up. I just have to now pick and choose what games I want installed. So stuff like that is a bit of a tricky thing, but it is what it is. I'm still going to get stuff installed. Like, I still have to do some drivers for my my drawing tablet now. I have all my mouse drivers, my keyboard drivers, stuff like that set up, but it's not been fun. I do not recommend, unless you have to, don't do a complete install of everything. It is brutal. It takes so much time. But at least for me, it happened on a couple of days that I can actually sit down for a good chunk of my day and just get everything set up. Like, I don't even have any of my Photoshop stuff set up yet. Like, nothing from Adobe, pretty much. Because I wanted to get a base of everything installed. So